a little bit about my initial impressions of Swift, and then as the weeks go on and the days go on, I'll continue to do videos to give you more in-depth ideas of how Swift has been running me and my experiences here, and hopefully that'll help you decide whether you want to come to work for Swift or not. So my first week out, once I got my truck, well, they called me. I got my driver ID code. They called me up and gave me 4 truck numbers. So I drove up to the terminal and I looked at 4 different trucks. 2 were internationals, 2 were Freightliners. The first 3 I looked at all had 300,000+ miles on them, which means they're close to being turned in. And the last one I looked at was a truck that I actually chose. It's a 2023 Freightliner Cascadia. I was hoping to get a Kenworth, but you know, Cascadia is it's a great truck. It had about 39,000 miles on it, so I was kind of happy about that. It's a brand new truck, wasn't beat down. Got a nice big mattress in it, soft mattress and everything. So I chose my truck and then loaded everything up in it, and I went home. I left out that following Monday. And my first week, honestly, I wasn't that impressed. I got 2,000 miles from Monday to Sunday. Our pay periods are basically whatever you do from Monday to midnight Sunday. So the good thing about Swift, I found out, is that if you are under a load where you stopped Sunday night, they'll add those miles on to that next week's pay. And then whatever miles you have left, if you deliver, say, Monday or Tuesday, those miles will start your next week, which is really nice. I do like the fact that they do that. But we ended up with 2,000 miles. I was not happy. I was not having it. We ended up in Utah. I run the 7 Western Reefer Division, and I ended up on doing some of the Walmart dedicated in Utah because they needed some help, and there wasn't a whole lot of freight up there. And for me, if I lived in Utah, that would have been an amazing account to be on, because you go out, you make your deliveries, you come back, then you go home for the day, you come back the next day, and at least that's how they would dispatch you me. The fact that I didn't live there, it made no sense for me, because I would leave out in the morning, I'd go make my deliveries, I'd be back either that night or early the next morning with 9.5 to 10 hours to run, and they wouldn't give me another run. I'd have to wait till the next morning to leave out. So I had a lot of sitting between my loads. When we finally got out of there, we went to Oregon, and I was having issues with my teeth. I was having some problems. I needed to go to the dentist, but I was trying to put it off. And to be honest, with the way I ran that first week, I was really upset. And then with the problems with my teeth, not sleeping and having toothaches, I went ahead and just put my home time in for the end of my second week. Over here, you're required, at least on this side, you're required to stay out 2 weeks, and you get 1 day off for each week that you're out, or 1 day off for every 6 days you're out, I believe is what it actually boils down to. And so the second week, I ended up with 2,000 miles again. Now that's partially my fault, because I ended up having to go home to go to the dentist to get my teeth taken care of, and to kind of decompress and step away from Swift, because I was really contemplating leaving at that point as well. Because for me, 2,000 miles in a week is just not worth being away from my wife and my grandchildren. If you're single, and you don't mind it, that's fine, but it's just too much sitting around for me. I think I don't mind a 2,000 mile week, or even a 1,500 mile week 1 week, as long as I'm hitting the 10 to 12,000 miles a month. But with 2,000 mile weeks, your odds are you're not going to get a 10,000 mile month out of it. So I went home, got home on Sunday, and I went to the dentist Monday, where they ended up pulling out a wisdom tooth and the 2 teeth beside it, which was excruciating and very painful. I reached out to my driver lead, Henry. He's an amazing guy. He drove for Swift, and he really, I will say, he does care about his drivers, and he goes out of his way to make sure that we're okay. So that is a major plus out here. You are not just a warm body in a seat or a truck number at Swift. You are a human being, and they treat you that way, which I do appreciate. But I told Henry what what was happening, and I was due to leave out on Wednesday because I was only out for 2 weeks. But he told me to go ahead and give him a call on Wednesday, see how I felt, because they put me on painkillers and antibiotics. Wednesday came around, I gave him a call, and I told him, I said, hey, I can leave out, but I'm still taking 2-3 painkillers to get through the day because my jaw hurts so bad. Henry and Swift were really good about it. They're okay, just give us a call on Friday, let's give it a couple more days, see how you feel. Friday came along, and my jaw was sore. It still hurt to eat, but it was tolerable. And I spoke with my dispatcher, Henry, and I told him, hey, here's the situation. Still sore. I'm still having a little bit of trouble eating, but I understand I was only out 2 weeks, and I really need to get on the road and roll. We need these trucks rolling, so I can leave today if need be. And his exact words to me were, no, we want our drivers to be comfortable out on the road, and we're more worried about their health and your safety than we are the trucks moving. So he told me, just go ahead and stay home till Monday, and we'll leave out 8 o'clock on Monday morning. Now, mind you, I only stayed out 2 weeks. I was only supposed to get 2 days off. I came home on a Sunday, so I should have left Wednesday, or Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. Swift and my driver lead let me stay home for a whole week because of the pain and everything like that. There's a lot of companies out there that wouldn't have. They wouldn't have cared that I was in pain. They wouldn't have cared so much that I was having to take painkillers. They would have told you to take the painkiller in the evening before you went to bed. So that's what I mean by, over here at Swift, you are a person, you are a human being. You're not just a truck number or a piece of equipment to them. So that makes me feel good. So then I left out that Monday, and we ended up with 2,600 miles. I'm not sure what my check's going to be because that's the check that pays this Friday, and I'm recording this on Tuesday. So, but I will say, so far in 1 month at Swift, only working 2 weeks, I've taken home with the $300, with the $300 bonus, safety bonus, or the sign-on bonus, and then I've taken home $2,800 in 2 weeks. Right now it's about $1,400 a week, so I really can't complain, even though like I said, that's 2 weeks of 1,000 plus. That's a week for my miles from when I went home to where that trip rolled over. So that was $290, $300, and then my $300 sign-on bonus. So we're gonna stick it out here. I'm still not impressed with my miles, but what I will say with that, and if this is anything like other companies I've worked at in the past, or even when I was a transportation manager, I had to fill out my drivers before I piled a bunch of miles on them. So I'm gonna take it as we're in the filling out stage. They're figuring out what kind of driver I am, how long I'm gonna stay out, how I'm gonna run, and I'm filling out, how they're gonna dispatch me, the areas that we run, and the loads. But I can tell you, after 4 weeks, I'm happy that I chose to come to Swift versus another company as a company driver. I can tell you that if you do decide to come to Swift for any reason whatsoever, their training programs or anything else, that you'll be treated as a person and not a truck number or a warm body in a seat. I know I've said that a few times, but I want to make sure that gets across in my video that that's how you'll be treated. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. If there's anything specific you want to know about Swift, I'll do my best to either answer it for you or get the answers for you in my next video. We are going to start uploading 2 to 3 times a week, probably starting next week or the week after, because I am doing schoolwork as well. I'm working on my bachelor's degree while I'm out here. So hopefully we'll be uploading a little bit more often starting then. But help me out. Like and subscribe. Comment below and ask questions or tell me what you would like to hear about. I know the lighting on this video isn't that great, but I wanted to get this out because it's been a few days since my last video dropped. So I appreciate everyone's time, and thank you very much, and I'll see you again.